So this is our day 13 and our agenda today in our Selenium course is to understand what is method overloading and what is constructor we will see on the second half. So let me make a simple program and tell me whether I'm making a logical program or not. So let me make one program class and I'm giving the class name as employee and okay, and inside the employee I will have some variable. So for example, integer empid and string name, and we will have double salary, double m underscore salary. M underscore salary is, let's say, monthly salary, and double y underscore salary means, let's say, yearly salary. Okay, so these four are class level variables or instance variables. Now I want to make a function. So I'm making a function here. I'll make it, let's say, calculate salary. I'll make a function called calculate salary, which will calculate employees' yearly salary, which will calculate employees' yearly salary. So we are talking about that we'll create a function calculate yearly salary, and this function will calculate the yearly salary. So let me write it like this: public void calculate yearly salary. What this will do, it will be like very simple. Yearly salary is equals to monthly salary into 12. Right? We are not putting any logic, just monthly salary into 12 will be yearly salary. Great. So how to work with this now? But let's understand that for managers or for sales employees, yearly salary can be different. Right? Yearly salary can have bonus added to them, or there may be different logic. So there may be another salary calculation for them also. So what to do? Is it like we should create another function, calculate yearly salary for manager, calculate yearly salary for sales people, calculate yearly salary for marketing people, right? Then there will be a lot of different functions. So there should be a mechanism that function name is same, but implementation may be changed. So this is like one implementation where yearly salary is simply calculated as monthly salary into 12. So is there a way that I'm writing here public void again calculated yearly salary. But this time, if somebody will pass commission, or yeah, so I'm writing here double commission. Commission means some percentage. So if there is some commission is there, right? So our calculation will be different. So for example, this will be, let's say, monthly salary into 12 plus, let's say, 5% extra we give to the salespeople. For them, calculate yearly salary is different. So what we will write? 5%, how we calculate? It's like this into 5 by 100. Don't go over what I'm writing. The thing is, let's understand this, that calculate salary for salespeople may be different based on what commission they will get, based on what target they have, whatever, right? For different people, there may be different kind of salary calculation may happen. I'll create another. So there may be one where somebody will straightforward say that this bonus, if there is a bonus, then your salary will be monthly salary, whatever you're getting, plus there is a yearly bonus. So this will be bonus. So there are three kind of calculate salary here. Normal calculate salary, who will simply get whatever is the monthly salary into 12, that is his or her employees yearly salary calculated. There may be another sort of group of people who got commission, so their yearly salary will be monthly salary into 12 and plus like the part of their yearly salary, there is a commission percent. So for example, their yearly salary, let's say 1 lakh rupees, but commission is 5%. So they will get like 5,000 rupees extra. It's like this. And there may be some people who has a straightforward bonus, but all the function name are calculate yearly salary only. So this is called method overloading. And I guess this example is good. You can relate with it that for different kind of employee, yearly salary calculation may be different. See, we did not write anything. Like we just wrote all the functions. No taking employee ID, name, salary, what is the salary. That's a secondary part actually. Right? That main calculation we have written some logic. That's the use of function. See, these are independent functions. You tell us what is their monthly salary, we will calculate the yearly salary. It's like this. Now let's implement that object part also. So what we will do, as of now I'm hard coding it. You can take these values using scanner classes also. So let's create one employee. So employee E1 is equals to new employee. So what I'm doing is control space. So learn about this thing now. I'm not writing everything. See here, I wrote EMP and then control space. It will automatically give me whatever words you have used, whatever identifier you have used, it will give you. So employee E1 is equals to new employee, fine. Then I can hard code E1 dot employee ID, let's say 123. E1 dot employee ID is equals to 123. E1 dot monthly salary is let's say 10,000, and E1 dot name is equals to test, and E1 dot yearly salary will be calculated. So we cannot write what is yearly salary. Instead, we can say that we want to call a function to calculate the yearly salary. So we'll say even dot calculate yearly salary. Correct. So see how many times I can call a function. Now I can say even dot calculate salary with commission. So I'll put, let's say, 4% commission. Another way 4, and again even dot, there is another where bonus I'll put, let's say, 2000 rupees. Okay, so all this looks, so system will, why system is not getting confused. Now question is, the function name is same, so why system is not getting confused? Why Java is not getting confused that which function to call, right? We are calling a function calculate yearly salary, then passing this one value, and then passing here also one value. So why system is not getting confused? Because you are saying calculate yearly salary without passing anything. So this will call this function. If you are passing a value which is integer, so it will check, okay, which function is accepting integer value. So this is the function which is accepting integer value. 2000 is also integer. So this function will be called both the time. So if you want to call explicitly that double one, then you should put it then you have to explicitly put 4.0. If you do 4.0, it will go to the this part, okay, where you're passing a double value, so it will go here. Okay, so somebody asking, is there is ambiguity? There is no ambiguity. That's the overloading concept is all about, because these all functions are different. Let's understand, the name is same, but based on the number of parameter, based on the type of the parameter, and based on the sequence of parameter you pass, based on the type of parameter, based on the sequence of parameter, right? It all depends on that which function will be called. It's like this. Okay, we'll run this program. So let's run this Java program and output. So this program is doing nothing. Why? Because we have not printed anything, right? So this is not printing anything. So let's print it. No, so we'll print it. System.out.println yearly salary is equals to this. Okay, that we have to copy paste only everywhere. This is here, this is here. Let's run this. So this time, if you see, every time different kind of yearly salary is present. Why? Because first time it was just 10,000 into 12. So this is, this 16th line is calling 21st line function implementation. Then when you pass 4.0, it is calling this one. So this calculation is like, okay, so 1,24,20,000 will come, and then there is a 4% commission. So the calculation will come 4,800, I think. So that's why yearly salary is 124,800. And then there is the third one, 18th line, you are calling directly a bonus you want to give. So that will go to the bonus part. And then it will be just 1,20,000 plus 2,000. which will go to the bonus, and you are adding it to this, right? So in this way, this will work. So this is also called, what we are seeing is method overloading. So when is the method overloading? When in the same class there are more than one function which has same name. Okay, now what are the things can happen? Different type of parameter, different number of parameter, and different sequence of parameter. Okay, we'll see this example. So in function overloading, this is possible. Different type of parameter, type means data type. So if you see here, we sent one time, we sent double, and another one is integer. Different number of parameters. So see here, here is the zero number of parameters. There is no parameter, but here we are passing one parameter. So there may be more than one also. And the sequence of parameter, so that also matters. So we'll see another example with a different sequence of parameter. Okay. So somebody was asking implicit and explicit difference. We covered it already, like difference between implicit and explicit typecasting. If you are asking about implicit and explicit typecasting, we have done it. So if I'll cover it again, it will take again 20 to 30 minutes. So today's topic is like related to overloading. So let's concentrate on that part. What if we will provide integer value in double? So your question is good. So let's say I'm commenting this. I have commented the whole this part. So now 2000 should, so what will happen? This should show me error because 2000 is integer and there is no function calculate yearly salary which accepts integer. So then there will be auto casting. So there is a auto casting, or you can say it's a type of like, or automatic promotion we say, right? Auto promotion concept is there. So here actually, in this case, if you see this 2000 is also going to this 27th line number function because integer can be put to double. We have already like discussed this thing. Any smaller data type can be put to the bigger data type. That is fine. If it is not available, if its matching function is not available, then it's fine. It will call this one. So this time what has happened is the first has called this 121st line one. The rest of the two function which we have called is calling the same. You pass double, okay, this function is called. You pass integer also, then also this function is called. Because it will check, okay, is there any function available which accepts integer? Okay, there is no because we commented it, right? So it will check, okay, integer is fine, not present. Is any bigger data type acceptance is there? Okay, yes, it has. So this 2000 will go to the commission, will become 2000.0 and then it will calculate. Okay, so let me uncomment this. Just a minute. Okay. So this is another example where we create a class called shape, and we can have different kind of area. So if I pass just, let's say, 6, and I can create another object. So if I create shape, let's say rect, and I will say rect dot area 6 comma 5, and I can make another shape which is circle, and I will say circle area, you will pass, let's say 3.142 comma 5 or 10. So how this will work? It's very simple one. You created one object. Okay, object is fine. Object creation is just the copy of class we discussed last time. You call a function, okay, s dot area 6, fine. This will jump to here. This is a function call, not here. This will jump to this part, right? Why? Because you are passing a single integer. So it will check, okay, what are the functions available with the name area which accept one integer. So there is only one function which does the same, and it will calculate this area. And after that, let's print it. So you can print. Okay. Then you created another object called rect, and calling a function by passing two values. So this will call this one. Why? Because you're passing two values. One is integer, another is integer. Then there is this, you call another area function, but this time you're passing one double and one integer. So it will check where is the function which accept first value double, second value integer. So this will work automatically in that way. So if we run this, it's printing me based on whatever value we have passed. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is like polymorphism, and so this is like overloading is a polymorphism concept only. That's called static polymorphism. Why it is called static polymorphism? Because even before execution, it's very clear that which function will be called at the runtime. Right? That is why it is called static polymorphism. Before at the runtime also, you as a programmer can easily say that which function will be called. Somebody is asking where we can declare the variable, right? The declaration of variable, wherever is required, you declare it. So if I need any variable here, which will work on this bracket only, I can declare anything like integer d is equals to 34, And the scope of this D will be limited to this function only, whatever function you have. It's like this. And if you declare it outside the main function, that will become class level variable. So see here, this is outside the function, outside the main function. Main is started here and here. Area is started here and here. Class level variable. That's why this area I can access to different functions, because this is declared outside this. And moreover, it's a class level variable. So when we say class level variable, you can access it anywhere in between a class. Okay, so let's move to the next part, which we want to see today is constructor. What is constructor? Most of us have somewhere worked on the constructor, right? Or have heard or mugged it somehow. We know it, right? The first point with the constructor is this is a function. Constructor is nothing but a function or the method, first thing. But what is the special thing about function is it has same name as class name. Okay. What else? No need to call explicitly. So when we say no need to call explicitly, you don't have to call constructor. It will be called automatically. Normal function, you have to call it. See here, I have to call area. Then only it will go to its implementation part. If you will not call it, it's fine. It will not call it. And what else? Why constructor is used? Constructor we use to initialize the values. Initialize the class level. This is the main thing about constructor. And constructor do not have return type. Constructor do not have return type. So let's see the example of this. Let's make a new class. And we will give it a name as company, let's say. And company has, let's say, integer company ID and string company name and string address. Fine. Okay. Then what to do with this? So can we write company C1? You can give any name. Company testology is equals to company. Great. Now, what is constructor? So constructor, as we said, is a function. Okay. It has the same name as class name. Let's make it. So this is class company make a bracket. So this will make me a function. Whenever there is something which is not defined by Java, this company name is given by us. Whenever you write something which is not defined by Java, and if you put a bracket, that means it's a function. Okay. So here we made it. And let me write it here. System.out.println. I am under constructor. I'm just printing it so that it will be clear. Let's observe this program. We did nothing. What we are doing is we are creating one object and have created, this is constructor. So whenever you see one function name which is same as class name, that means it's a constructor. And nothing we are doing. So let's run this program. So if you observe this, it is printing me this. Right? Why it is printing? Let's make another function. So I'm making it public void display detail, and I'll write it here that company ID. Let's print all this. So company ID and company name and address. Okay, so let's run this program. This is still printing this. Why it is not printing all this? Because we did not call this function. Until you call a function, why this will work? But constructor is special. Even if you have not called it, it is automatically called. At what time it is called? When you create an object. So constructor, you don't need to call explicitly. This will be called when you create object. So once when you create the object, this will be automatically called. It's like this. If you want to call your display detail, then you have to call explicitly. So you have to write it display detail. You have to call this display detail. But constructor you don't have to call, like writing testology.company. No, it's not like that. It will be called automatically. So if you see here, first it is printing I am under constructor, and then it is printing 0 null null, because as of now we have not assigned any value to company ID and all those things. Yes, so somebody is asking if we will create another object, it will be called again. Yes, I'm making another company, Techlift, and let's run this. So if you see here, for this line again, it has called constructor. Okay. So any number of time you create the object, it will call the constructor. And this is non-parameterized constructor. What we say, non-parameterized means you're not passing any constructor parameter. You can pass also. That also we'll see, but let's understand this part first. And but is this meaningful? We are not doing anything, just printing it. So here comes that part that it is used to initialize the class level variable. So here we will initialize it, right? It's not a like fixed rule, but it's good to do initialization through constructor. Company name is Testology Learning Center. Address is equals to line. Okay. Now if I will run this program, let's see what will happen. Sorry, this integer will not come. This string will not come because it is already declared. So you don't have to declare again a data type. Now if we will run this, see here what it is doing. I am under constructor. Why it is printing? Because of this 11th line. Then it has printed, but this thing also got executed. Like company ID is assigned as -99. Company name is this, address is this, but we did not display it. So the 12th line will be for the display. So one by one that will display. So let me debug this program so that you will get to know what is happening. I will debug this program. Okay. So let's understand first that what are the things we have done line by line. So there is one constructor. Okay. What it does, it prints I'm under constructor, and it puts some values to some variables. That's it. And then there is another function which just displays 3 values. Okay, fine. So how to debug? I am putting a debug at 9th line, 16th line, 24th line to understand that when these functions are called, I am doing a right click, debug as Java application, and we will observe where it is going. So see here, we are at 9th line. This object is, we are creating just an object. See, it is going to the 16th line, and then I'll put debug point here also. So here it will execute all these things. Okay, that's why it is printing I am under constructor. It's coming back to the 10th line. Once the work of this is done, it is coming back to the 10th line. Then it is going to the 24th line because you called display data. Now it will print the current company ID is -99. Current company name is this. Current address is this. It will print it. Then it will go again to this because we have made another object. So it is calling what we say constructor again, and we'll do this thing. Now the question is, why constructor is required? Why? So let's understand the practical implementation of constructor. Do you know that when you fill a form online, or you take an admission somewhere in college or school, you have to fill a form, and there are 100 of detail you have to fill. So there are mandatory fields, mandatory, and there are optionals, and there are defaults, right? So let's say there are 100 fields you have to fill. So it will ask you name, city, lot of things, right? Zip code and everything. So, and you are able to submit the form. So what happens in the background is it creates a new object. So I'm just giving an example. When you fill a form, in the background, actually, it creates an object for you. It creates object in background, and it assigns you this thing that, okay, now you fill your values. So there will be a function which will accept the values. There will be a function public void accept values, and where there will be a function like it will ask you all those details and you will fill the values. But what will happen to the values which you do not fill, right? So there will be some default values set by constructor by default, correct? So for example, when a student get admission in a school, on very first day they do not take all the details, right? It's just for their name, their parents name, and some basic detail like address, correct? Some of the detail they fill it later on, like hobbies, like students hobbies, or let's say blood group, or medical history, or from which bus the student is coming, right? There may be different detail for the student, so some fields are still remaining that they will fill later on. So those will be set as some default values, like let's say 0 or whatever, right? So in the same way, constructor are used to fill all the values default, and then you can overwrite it. So for example, if I call accept values, I can overwrite, no? So I can say company ID is something else. Let me show you right now. I'll say company ID is not -99. I'll say 251. I'll not change the company name, but I will change, let's say, address. So I'm changing the address as online as well as offline. Some address, weird address I'm giving, don't worry. So we created this function then, and we'll call this function. So I'll call somewhere, I'm deleting this. I'll say testology dot accept values, and let's display it again so that you will get the difference what I'm saying. So we created an object, fine. We call display detail. Then we say accept values. Then we will say display detail again. So see what is going to happen. I'm running this program. So if you see here in the output, it is printing me the basic detail, correct? Then we called accept values, where I'm changing the values. And then if you see here, 99 is changed to 251, and this address is changed online as well as offline. Okay, this online where we are printing, let me delete it. Testology Learning Center. Okay, this one was the online which is present earlier. So this, okay, this is printing before changing it, and this is printing after changing it, right? So if you see here, the middle one, I don't want to accept from the user, so I will delete it. I don't want to accept the company name from the user. Let's say, as of now, we are hard coding it, but actually this value, let's say, come at the runtime. So we are just overriding here, not function overriding. It's like overwriting the company ID and the address detail, but the constructor has set something default. So even if you will not change that, it will remain same. So if we run this program, you are able to see that the company name is not changed. It's still same. Rest of the thing like company ID and this, you have changed it. But so this is how the default will be same if you have set it through constructor, right? And it's a good practice that we'll set all the default values also. This is how this is useful. As of now, just 3 fields. That's why you may be thinking why we are doing. But think about a situation when there are 100 fields and I don't want to put all the values as of now. So there should be some default value. So that default value is set by the constructor. You can set it by constructor. It's like this. Because the moment you create the object, all the default value will be set. It's like this. Okay.